Daniel Clowes and Indywood are back at it again, and this is a surprise. An item that was mentioned very late in the week, and there's a filmmaker on board that I think might actually potentially have a lot to say and might do a good job here. So once again, Focus Features has apparently been on board this project for a while. So it's called Patience. Kevin Jagernauth, I imagine you're familiar with Clowes' work.
Mhm.
Where does this fall in his in his works, especially the items that have been adapted for the screen?
See, I'm not crazy familiar with his work. What I do know is, the material I know, Ghost World and Art School Confidential, they were very sort of character-driven stories, are very personal, very, as you said, indie wood, like very suited to sort of independent storytelling. This one's interesting in that it has a bit of a science fiction twist. Um, it's about a man whose wife is murdered, and then he learns of a time machine that he might be able to use to go and fix things. And just hearing that, it actually brings to mind Safety Not Guaranteed, oddly enough. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like that vibe from this. I mean, I haven't read the book, I don't know, but just from the log line and the sort of themes it seems to be evoking, I get that sense from it.
Yeah, so the filmmaker is Charlie McDowell. So he's two features in so far. Both were broke out at Sundance. For the one I love, that was 2014. 2017, he had The Discovery. That was a Netflix project. Here he reteams with the same scribe in Justin Latter, and again, this is a filmmaker that I feel as if he's tinged in noir, and he's able to like sort of play with genre. So something that's perhaps more compact in budget, and supported by actual graphic material, if you want to call it that, an actual source, might give him a little bit more perimeters. There's going to be more perimeters in place for him. I'm curious about who he might cast in the lead, and how he'll approach that whole back and forth chronology in time, going backwards and forwards.
Well, I mean, it was kind of, I mean, The Discovery was also a science fiction-esque story, so there's some parallels there, I think, just in the sort of overall, maybe the overall feel of it. And that film had Robert Redford and Jason Segel and Rooney Mara and Jesse Plemons. So, I mean, and with focus behind this film as well, I think we can probably expect some bigger names to join this. But it'll be interesting to see how that comes together and whether this is, you know, an ensemble piece or something more intimate. I mean, just again by the storyline, it seems like something that might be a bit smaller scale in terms of characters and setting and things like that.
I'm thinking a lot of Chad Hartigan he made a film in Vancouver in April of this year, a smaller film. And again, I don't know why I'm linking these two projects, but it feels like you say something that's perhaps less all-encompassing, but still adheres to some cool escapism, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, and it kind of actually now, it also gives me a vibe of actually a little bit of Eternal Sunshine as well. With the relationship and trying to go back in time and all of that kind of thing. So it'll be interesting to see where it lands in terms of the vibe of it.
I'm Eric Lavallée. I'm editor-in-chief and site owner for IONCINEMA.com, and this is
Kevin Jagernauth, contributing writer for the playlist.
And together we are IndieSponge.